Hey, it's Joe from VCAM TV Studios, back with another episode of Radio DJ Reacts with JR. And JR is really excited because I'm about to take him into the Willennium, the Will 2K. Actually, just the regular 2K. The first show that we're going to have JR take a look at is That 70s Show, a classic sitcom from the late 90s to the early 2000s. The character of Donna actually became a radio DJ.
Radio DJ reacts, feel the rhythm it attracts.
And this is where we do the interviews. A lot of
All right, a couple
legends
RE20s in here. I'm already
room.
excited. Industry standard.
Good times.
All the audio processing
Wow.
racks behind him.
So
This
if I
is
stay
super
here
cool.
long enough, I might see a rock star throw up.
See it? You'll probably clean it up.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Look at all the tapes.
Oh, yeah. This is Jerry Thunder
Who?
coming to you on the sound.
When you first got started, were you as excited as Donna was to meet the radio jocks?
I'll tell you, as a musician early on, I was super excited to meet who would eventually become my mentor, Rob Steele, because growing up listening to this guy, it was very Jerry Thunder, I think you said was his name. I just imagined that Steelsy lived in just the biggest house and had the coolest car and, you know, had like 6 chicks on his arm at all time. As far as other jocks, I'm always excited to meet other jocks because I think you can always learn something from somebody. They say the best salesman, you know, always steals the best lines from the best salesman. And I think it applies for radio jocks too.
And it looks like we got a new office girl.
Okay.
What's your name, baby?
Donna?
Donna.
Well, Donna, you are hot. So I'm going to call you Hot Donna.
Yes.
Okay.
You got yourself a boyfriend, Hot Donna.
This guy's going for it.
No?
That is good news, fellas. Because Hot Donna is hot.
Okay.
We're selling an image here, and
Yeah.
an available Hot Donna is it's good for ratings.
Oh. Well, what the hell? Eric won't have a problem with it.
All right, be honest. Is Hot Donna a good radio handle?
Hot Donna is a great radio handle. If I ever met somebody with the name Donna that was looking to get into broadcasting, I would definitely recommend Hot Donna. I think it's super fun.
This is Jerry Thunder.
I love the thunder
Coming your
sound
way
effects for
on
this guy.
the
Oh gosh.
Where we are enjoying lots of sex, drugs,
Gosh,
and
I've been
rock
working
and
at the
roll.
wrong stations
Am
the
I
last 10
right,
years.
Hot Donna.
Sure are, Jerry Thunder. Radio people are the coolest.
Well,
That's right. That's why you want to have sex with us all.
oh gosh.
I really do.
So this is quite a scene that we're seeing here. Do you think there are people out there that actually think that this goes on at the radio station?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because again, it's all just perception, right? There's this theater of the mind to radio, and I've put that into practice over the last 10 years being a broadcaster, and it's your job to paint this super grand picture and make everything kind of seem bigger than it is, because then it's bigger than it is, right?
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we feed your skinny boyfriend to the snake?
Okay.
But I've also been on the other side of that, listening and just imagining, oh my goodness, like, you know, your favorite singer just came in, and then, you know, the local college cheer squad is there too. And it's just like, it's this party. You're kind of creating, you know, whatever format you're on, you're creating, you know, said environment for that particular format. Jerry likes his studio
This
dark
is
just like I
Jerry
do.
Thunder.
I want all the lights off all the
Signing
time.
off, and I'll see you around the sound.
All right. Woo. Let's get Mr. Big FM Stud out here right now.
Yeah.
Big time.
Eric, why are you being weird?
Don, I'm gonna make a long story short. I'm here to kick a little DJ ass, so have a seat.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Donna. And this must be the boyfriend, Eric. Hi, I'm Jerry Thunder.
What?
You're Jerry Thunder? Well, that's just great.
Big voice, tiny body.
Now, this guy's look definitely does not match his voice. Does that happen often?
All the time. All the time, yeah. It's one of the harder things to do as a broadcaster, especially starting out, is figuring out your voice. Like when I began, I have tapes that I'm not going to give to you because I don't want you putting them in there. But I was being what I thought I was supposed to be. And that's the over the top and the whoa, and you're just, you know, just big personality with a silly voice. But slowly over time, where you get good is when you become comfortable in being yourself and using your own voice and kind of, you know, turning the dial up a little bit. Awesome scene. I love how kind of the dream montage is kind of the dream that when one becomes a radio host, that's what you kind of imagine your life as almost. Because when you grow up listening to these other jocks like I did as a kid, you think they are just larger than life. They live on, you know, in the biggest house, on the biggest hill, on the biggest side of town. And then you learn quickly once you do get into the industry that is just as false as possibly could be. But they did a great job kind of painting that, you know, larger than life personality imagery per se.
We got another talk up. It's from the TV show Community. The character Neil has his own radio show.
Blanket stackers and pillow packers out there thinking it's gonna go down tonight. But there's a lot of us folks from the scene in between saying, hey, we're all looking to chill out and lay down with someone special. This is Real Neil with Pipes of Steel.
RE20.
Signing off with the smooth
Industry standard, and
sounds
that's what we're
of
rocking
daybreak.
with right here.
How'd he do?
I can't fault him. I mean, he nailed the post. In effect, absolutely nailed the post. And I felt like what he was describing was what everybody in that scene was experiencing. So Neil was his name, you said? Neil, hats off. That was great.
Our next clip comes from the TV show Parks and Recreation.
Welcome to Thoughts for Your Thoughts. I'm Derry Merbles, filling in for David
Try
Parker,
opening your
who took
mouth.
off for 8 months to study the migration patterns of our nation's squirrels. We have not seen him since. My guest today is author Leslie Knope. The book, Pawnee, the Greatest Town in America.
JR, what's the difference between, like, your public radio show and your top 40 show?
Obviously, format style, music choice, but also talent, too. Public radio is a great forum. Public and college radio is a great forum for people to get started, for people to kind of get their foot in the door and start to hone their craft. But the money is going to be made, you know, working for your major just came out of me, your major media companies, your iHearts and your Odysseys and, you know, Town Squares, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, quite frankly, the bigger money is going to be in the bigger markets. Your New Yorks and LAs, Miami, Chicago. I just spent my last 3 years in Denver. That was the number 18 market. Previously 4 years in Nashville. That was number 40 something. And it's also format. There doesn't necessarily seem to be a format to this guy's show. Why he has a producer, I don't necessarily see a need for one. He could have very much had done that himself, but kudos to him, man. I wish I had one.
Leslie, could one say that a book is nothing more than a painting of words, which are the notes on the tapestry of the greatest film ever sculpted?
One could say that.
Or,
but should one?
This guy's in love with his voice. Do you run into people like that?
I certainly love to listen to my shows, but with a critical ear to kind of, you know, pick apart what I can do better next time, or like what worked out, what didn't. Some people, God, yeah, I'm sure I've come across folks like that just love to talk just to talk, but they're not actually going anywhere with the conversation.
Leslie, would you like to take us out?
Okay. Please enjoy a song from the lesbian Afro-Norwegian funk duo Nefertiti's Fjord.
Wow. Did not anticipate this music.
Oh, wow. They are terrible.
Oh, yes, they're quite awful.
Oh, wow. That guy, his delivery, his tone, his tenor, it was just... And obviously that's what the actor was going for there. But gosh, yeah, that was very much just talking to hear yourself talk with no purpose, with no rhyme or reason.
Kind of freaking out a little bit. Just got a text from Allie and AJ. You remember them from Disney Channel, right? Let's see what the girls had to say.
Hey JR, it's Allie and AJ. And we're gonna challenge you to use the word Americana.
Hey, I'm JR, and I've realized living in Denver here for over a year now that between the beautiful mountains, the breweries, the Broncos, and Shotgun Willies, it doesn't get any more Americana than right here on the Mile High.
Our next clip comes from the MTV series Together.
Welcome back to the Morning Whack Attack on 109.7 The Bomb Diggity. This is
The
Crazy
Bomb
Rick with
Diggity,
Mikey Wasabi. Good
109.7.
boy, Bill.
Hey, we're down here at the Lazy Lounge on 3rd, where tonight together we'll perform an unplugged set to raise money for the Human Genome Project.
And we've got together bad boy Mickey Park in the studio with us this morning. How you doing, Mick?
It's Michael, and I'm terrific, thanks.
MTV's doing some kind of satire on you guys. Did you have a cow when you heard about it?
Yeah, that guy was
Get the mic on him, guys.
Wow, it's a real bug,
Jeez.
that's fat.
Is he on some kind of all Crisco diet?
Hey, Doug Linus is a great guy. A great guy. Clearly more of a novelty than a singer, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going with a more shock jock style of interviewing. What are your thoughts on, like, a shock jock trying to interview a musical guest?
Those hosts were being a little malicious and facetious, I think might be a word to describe it as well. Trying to kind of coax some of that stuff out of him. I think that's pretty shady practices, to be honest.
What are some of the pros and cons of doing this with a musical guest?
You know, it's not worth possibly losing your job over, and it's not worth ruining any relationships over, because in the radio industry, and I'm sure this stands true for a multiple of different kind of industries and workspaces. It's all about relationships. It's all about who you know. It's all about the rapport and, you know, the relationship you have with all these different people. And if you're trying to pull off something like that, you're not going to be around, you know, very long.
So, New Rules is obviously a smash hit for you. I personally want to know, like, what jerk inspired you to write that song? And if we need to go find him and take care of this for you, because we will.
QT stand for totally true, but backwards?
Far be it for me to say anything.
Oh,
negative
no.
about him. I mean, he's a great
Is this
talent.
guy, these guys are trying to get dirt and
Somewhat
drama?
childish and a professional whiner. Plus, he reeks of death.
This is priceless. What about Chad?
Obviously, Together in the theory of the show is a new band. They're not very media trained.
My goodness, what a dancer. What a dancer. As for personality, let's just say he doesn't have one.
Oh no, you're gonna split up your group.
What's a good word?
You passive-aggressive...
Oh, the band does not like that. Have you ever done an interview with a guest where you think, ooh, they might have just got in trouble with their label or their band?
No, I don't believe so. A lot of the stuff, it's very, you know, it's very matter of fact. It's very, look, they're in town. They got a show tomorrow night at the, you know, Bridgestone Arena, yada, yada, yada. Or there's always some sort of agenda, something, you know, to get across. And it's up to you as the jock to be able to get those points across, but also make it entertaining at the same time. You need to interweave in between those things, right? So no, I've you know, honestly, I don't think I've ever experienced something like that.
So you would say that your role is to make the artist feel comfortable, right? And I would say your other role, from what I've seen, is becoming a Sabrina Carpenter meme.
Yes, I have. That picture is like several years old. The Sabrina Carpenter picture somehow became a meme within her multiverse. There's just this post going around of how short she really is, and one of the pictures they took was a picture of me and her from an event in Nashville called Girls' Day in the Gulch, where a listener on our station got to spend an afternoon and get lunch with her down in the Gulch. Which is like a trendy area in Music City. And I took a picture with her. Mind you, I'm 6'3", right? Sabrina Carpenter is like just above my waist. And I'm even crouching a little bit in the picture, and it's me holding the camera. I wasn't camera ready. I was there to film. I was supposed to be on the other end, but I got a cool picture with her, and she couldn't have been kinder.
That size difference kind of reminds me of the Bob Uecker, Andre the Giant moment from WrestleMania. So what's your thoughts on the radio station name, The Bomb Diggity?
Yeah, I don't know if I would go with that name for your station. Maybe try to come up with something else. It's radio being depicted as very kind of hokey and very kind of poking fun at itself, right? Which is what a lot of radio is. But, you know, I take what I do very seriously, and I want to talk into a mic in some capacity the rest of my life. So it's funny, haha, it's silly, it's tongue-in-cheek, but, you know, I still at the same time, this is something that I'll love until the end of time. It's what I'm put on this earth to do. It's what I love. It's to me, it's the best thing in the world.
Logan, we have to go. JR, chill, man. Why you in such a big time rush?
Our next clip comes from the Ashley Simpson Show, a reality series on MTV. And in this scene, Ashley Simpson is going on a press tour, visiting different radio stations.
An hour and a half? A radio tour is when you talk to, like,
doing liners.
Different radio stations in, like, 2 hours. Hey, what's up? How are you?
Your hair color's changed.
Yes, it has.
I love your black hair. Jessica. Ashley
Oh,
Simpson
no.
does KRBE. Do you mind when people constantly compare you to your older sister?
Yeah, that's not Jessica. Have you ever made one of these gaffes? Like you called somebody the wrong name, or you referred to something that they didn't make?
Oh, I've certainly messed up before. I remember specifically in Nashville interviewing Carly Rae Jepsen, who I was a big fan of. I'm always a sucker for straight down the middle pop music, right? And I had prepared all these notes, and she was in town to perform at the Ryman, I think it was, that night. And my PD says, hey, do you want to, chat with Carly? She's thinking about popping by. I'm like, yes, that would be great. We can capture it. I can use it. And I was so excited to meet her. I was like fanboying on the inside that I was messing up the titles and the names of her songs. And I crap you not, in the middle of our talk, I held up all my notes to her and I ripped them up. And I said, let's start over. Hey, my name is JR. And I literally started over with her, and she couldn't have been kinder. She was so sweet.
Did you feel pressure? You feeling any pressure?
You get asked a lot of the same questions, and sometimes I try to, be refreshing, at least for myself and for them.
All these different towns and stations that she's going to visit, those are all individual markets. So even if it's the same interview in theory, it's going to be new to that particular audience, right? But I understand where she's coming from. As a jock, I've been on both sides of this, where there's an artist coming in. I don't necessarily know a lot about them, but I know they're on the circuit right now. Let me go watch and listen to what they've done leading up to I'm about to see them tomorrow backstage at the, Fillmore. And that's where I can kind of differentiate and break up what it is that I do. I remember, for example, meeting Macklemore, and I know he was on that same circuit at the time. And I decided to open up the interview kind of in a non-traditional way. And I just started talking to him about his Halloween costume that he wore with his daughter. And he just you could see his eyes just kind of open and a smile came over him. And he was so excited to talk about that. And that was the icebreaker that I needed to conduct the rest of the interview.
So you've told me that one of the times that your nerves really got to you was when you went to interview Ed Sheeran. What happened?
I had just moved to Nashville, so this was my first real big gig, right? And I get a call. My PD at the time, Joe Breezy, incredible guy. He's like, 3 p.m. tomorrow, Bridgestone Arena. I need you there. You're going to interview Ed Sheeran. This was, again, my first high-profile interview, and I was terrified. So I had known that Ed Sheeran loved Legos, and I remembered one of his old music videos. There were a bunch of Legos in it. I don't remember the song. And I was so nervous, I didn't know what to do with my hands. So I said, I'm going to buy a Lego kit, and we're going to play Legos together so I'm not like sitting on my hands or like rubbing them together or doing something weird.
As I brought these Legos, I thought it'd be appropriate to have instructions, but we probably don't need that.
we don't need that.
Right? So the name of my show is JR's Party Playhouse.
Yeah.
So I thought I
make-
could build JR's Party Playhouse with Ed Sheeran, and I thought that could be a really cool thing.
I'm with you.
And I can go back and watch it now and know that it wasn't my best performance as a interviewer, as a host, but it was pretty cool.
At least you got a cool souvenir out of it. Not everybody has their own Lego house built by Ed Sheeran.
So I think we have a pretty good house built, and I just want to thank you for your time, and it's been really cool hanging out with you, man.
Sorry, distracted. Very
See?
This is the house.
This is JR's Party Playhouse as built by Ed Sheeran.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
So it's not just nerves that can affect an interview. What was it that happened to you when you went to interview English songwriter Mimi Webb?
A lot of this stuff happens and you got to be so fast about it, right? So not only am I bringing in my camera, I'm bringing in my audio gear as well. I'm doing all of this by myself. I don't have a team with me. And there are other members of the press from news and other stations waiting outside. You get 10 minutes set up, interview, break down, get out the door, right? And we were in this room and it was so hot in this room and I had set everything up and I got my angle just right and I got the Rodecaster Pro turned on and I got the mics going. And the whole time I'm sitting there talking to her, there's this big fog ring around my glasses. And at one point during the interview, I take it off and I try to blow it out, which just made this worse. Now there's spit on them. Can I just tell you, my glasses were fogged up the entire time.
I didn't even notice.
Okay, you did it because I thought you were staring directly at it. And at one point you're talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so, because I'm so warm and we're on like a leather couch. Yeah, but oh gosh, that was awesome.
Our next clip comes from an early 2000s Flash animated series called Behind the Music That Sucks. So you know they're not going to come in with like the most positive statement on what you do.
Whether as our compatriot in Gridlock or helping us out with that long-distance dedication, the radio disc jockey is a peculiar media specimen. Tonight, we pay homage to the radio DJ on Behind the Music That Sucks.
To me, radio's the coolest thing in the world. It always will be. I love it.
Good morning, everybody. Floyd the Void here, only on KMUZ.
Floyd
it's
the
37
Void.
past the 6 o'clock hour. That's the AM, folks. It's bleeping early.
Get up, Pop.
No, this shit's early, Sherlock. Hey, Justin Timberlake's got a hot one out.
That's hot.
Wake up, Springfield. It's time to get your sexy back.
This is Floyd. Floyd is a consummate radio disc jockey, and we salute him. For Floyd, every time is a good time for a sound effect.
And that's sports. Thanks for keeping it here. You're tuned to the nuts. You know we keep it crazy because we're KMUZ about music.
Sounds like you're nuts about freaking sound effects, a-hole.
And for Floyd, like all DJs, it doesn't matter what the subject matter, because the yuck style of his radio-friendly voice always comes shining through.
Let's see what's the haps over in the land of oil and Allah. Uh-oh, we got another deadly car bomb in Fallujah.
Oh my.
Back to the music. I can't get enough of this one. It's back to the SexyBack.
Again? I just heard this.
Yeah. You're going to
Why
hear it
isn't
again.
traffic moving?
So one complaint I hear about Top 40 radio is the repetitiveness, that you're always hearing the same songs. When this Flash animation came out, the popular song that was played to death was SexyBack. How does that happen?
Gosh, you know, this is something that I would get a lot. Like, I'm flattered that people think that I actually pick what music that I play, right? This is all done ahead of time by a music director, right? Of course, I have say, little say, right? But as a former APD, assistant program director, I do have some say in what songs I think are better for our station. Yeah, you know, all the songs are split up into different categories. You know, you have your powers, your sub powers, your recurrence, your new music, your golds, which are your classics. And the average person is, you know, listening, let's call it 15 minutes at a time, right? Hopefully, probably more like 8. So granted, yeah, you are going to hear your Taylor Swifts and your Post Malones and your Arianas, you know, more, because in that time frame that a person is listening, they want to hear the hits. You know, we talked about this earlier in this bit. When in doubt, play the hits. And if you think it can get annoying for you, imagine talking up these songs dozens and dozens of times every day, 7 days a week, and still presenting the song in a new original way every single time.
Oh, I remember when I came to visit you, and when we were in the station, it felt like all I was hearing was Post Malone. The same 3 or 4 big hits that he had at the time, just on loop.
Oh, it can be tough. I remember that even more so with Ariana Grande.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, her too.
And I think this was right before pandemic. And Thank You Next had dropped, and her boyfriend track, and just quite a few others. The station I was on at the time was called I-1067, and I almost went in and told my boss, why don't we just change our name to Ari-1067, because that's all it seems that we play. It's crazy. But, you know, whatever's reporting on the charts as a hit, you got to do your best, you know, to give the people what they want.
We thank you, Floyd, for you and your comrades have an infectious way of telling us the time.
56 and a half minutes till the hour. That comes before 9. Bet you're on your way to that.
Just glad he didn't do the triple time check.
Just sit back and enjoy this one from
It's
Mr.
1:20, 40 minutes till 2 o'clock.
Kudos,
That's
Floyd.
20 after
your
the
listening
hour.
skills always makes a caller's song request just so beautifully one-sided.
Lucky caller, you got the void on the nuts. What's on your mind?
Thanks, Floyd. I'm Janet. I want to request a song for my boyfriend.
Sounds like love, Julie.
No, my name is Janet, and he just broke up with me.
Oh, no.
I think we got a domestic disturbance, folks.
No, nothing like that. He just thinks we've grown apart. Could you play The Way We Were?
Nikki, listen to the great void on this one. You need to remind this guy about your pleasure dough.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't, and my name is Janet. No,
Looks like we lost Megan, but not a request.
Lost Megan?
The beat is falling like trees around here with a little sexy back. And thanks for the request,
The way we were! You were supposed to play The Way We Were!
That's right, Floyd. Your incessant need to please A&R reps and get kickbacks makes hearing the
Oh,
same
come
pop song
on.
6 times an hour so much more than a pleasure.
They're hitting you hard. They got the Hawaiian shirts. Is the Hawaiian shirt still a thing?
The Hawaiian shirt, radio jock or not, that's that dude's style. You can tell that's just always kind of been his go-to, especially with his size.
And the talking to the Justin Timberlake record, which seems to be the joke they keep running into the ground here.
No more SexyBack.
No more SexyBack.
Uh-oh, gang, looks like we got a surprise.
Who let that crack in?
In-studio guest here at KMUZ.
I'm gonna hack you up and eat you for breakfast.
Speaking of breakfast, folks, go out and get yourself one of them breakfast burgers at Carl's Jr.
Oh, Floyd, we almost forgot that your thinly veiled conversational attempts to plug advertising makes you a king in a world of peasants. You go, Mr. Radio.
That reminds me, listeners, if you want to get a leg up on all the interest you're paying on your home loan, jump on the web and go to lendertown.com.
Holy smokes, man. That was just aggressive. That was a lot. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, all 3 if you're feeling up to it. Again, my name is JR. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, it's cool to be you. Peace.